This is the MagFlott by CharJen. This is a product I'm really excited about. They sent me an image of this months ago, and ever since then, I've been super excited to talk about it here on the channel. Now, the version that I've had here is a prototype. It is not the final version at all. A couple of things that I know that will be different with the final version is it's going to be slightly taller and everything's going to be tightened up. I can't stress this enough. This is very much a prototype. So what makes this different from every other iPad stand on the market? Well, instead of having some kind of clamping mechanism, it uses the built-in magnets on the iPad Pro and the new iPad Air for you to just kind of lock it right into place. The magnets in the stand and the iPad are incredibly strong, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. I never had any issues with it coming off when I didn't want it to come off. But it is pretty easy to remove and attach when you want to. You can just put your hand on the base and grab it, or take two hands and just attach it. So there's a couple of ways that I've been using this that I just think are really interesting, that this stand in particular stands out, see what I did there, for these use cases. So the first one is just a super clean desk setup. So if you have the stand and iPad, pair it with an external keyboard, external mouse or trackpad, and you got yourself an Instagram post right there. That is a clean, nice looking desk setup. Or if you're somebody that works primarily from a Mac or a PC, but you like to have an iPad to kind of complement your workflow, maybe have your task management list up or some reference document or whatever, you can just put it right next to your computer, put it in either portrait or landscape mode, because this can go in portrait or landscape mode, and you can just reference your documents, task management, whatever, right there. But the way I found I like to use it, since I primarily work from the iPad, is I put it on my desk, put the iPad on the stand, and plug it right into my monitor. So that way I can still have my iPad up, trigger Face ID, tap the display, all of that stuff that I still like to do when I'm using a monitor with my iPad. And this just makes it really easy to do. And also it makes it look really nice. And as somebody that films my desk setup a lot, making sure everything looks nice and is not a mess is pretty important to me. Like I mentioned, you can rotate it from landscape or portrait mode. So what makes this nice is, say you're in Safari, you're browsing around the web, but then you need to go into a document and you want to write in a document. You could just flip it into portrait mode and start typing in that document, and you can take better advantage of the screen real estate. A lot of iPad stands don't work really well when you try and rotate them from landscape to portrait mode. What's nice about this one is it locks into place. So when you're in landscape mode, you can just push down into portrait mode. And then when it's in portrait mode, it kind of snaps right there. And then when you rotate it back, it's back in landscape mode. You don't need to worry about, okay, is this level now and stuff like that. The other iPad stands that I've used are pretty terrible about that. And you'll never get them level again unless you, laser level them or something. This also comes with a U-shaped USB-C cable. Now, what's cool about this is you can plug it into the side and the cable will then go through the back of the iPad, and then you can take it through the cable management hole. This just helps keep everything super clean. When I spoke to the people at CharJen, it was really clear to me that they really care about this product, and they are going into every little detail that they can think of to make sure it is just perfect. It is exactly what iPad users want, and I'm really impressed with that. That's why I've been so excited to share this all with you. The build quality is great. What I found is when I was typing on a keyboard, a lot of times with iPad stands that aren't solid, don't have good build quality, is you'll get a lot of wobble back and forth. This one, I didn't have that issue. Now, again, this is a prototype. Not everything was super tight, so there was some issues with the kind of wobbleness of the parts that weren't tight. My one other issue, and again, this is something I already mentioned that they're fixing, with the prototype, it was really short. They're making it taller. I'm a tall person, I'm 6'1", so having things short and low to the ground does not work for me at all. So I'm happy to hear that they're gonna make it slightly taller. But the nice thing about this is the iPad can tilt really far back, so you won't have an issue with viewing angles at all. They're launching a Kickstarter the same day I am putting this video out, so I will link to that Kickstarter in the description below if you want to go check it out. When the Kickstarter ends and the product finally launches, I will swap that link out for the final link, so you can just go and buy it then if you want. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day.